And welcome back. Hey, I'm Dr. Bob Lee. Our next guest is a Miami-based entrepreneur and celebrated vegan chef who joins us to promote her new plant-based project and highlight how she's inspiring others to embrace a healthier eating habit. And so please welcome to the show, Melissa Guzman. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Melissa, where's the food? That's the food right off the bat.
I get that asked so many times,
Right off
especially
the
after I
bat,
see the
right?
pictures.
Not how are you, how you doing, how you feeling. Where's the food?
When you cooking.
What you cooking? But you've been in it for some time. How did you get started?
So I was actually in the business of dogs. Then, unfortunately, I got sick with a aggressive autoimmune illness that landed me in a wheelchair. And then after that, I had to learn how to lower my inflammation so I could walk again. Luckily, going
Yeah,
plant-based helped. It stopped the progression of my illness. And then I just started
yeah.
missing my Dominican food. And I'm just, at holidays and family gatherings, I just felt completely left out. So I learned how to remix my cultural foods into healthier, less inflammatory ones. And that's how the Caribe
Mhm.
vegan was born.
That's important right there because I love all kinds of foods from different cultures, but I have my Dominican spots too that I go to, and I love to get what I get when I go there. But sometimes you're right. Some of those foods cause inflammation and it's not a friend to the body all the time. So you have to
No.
learn how to do what you're doing, find plant-based and other ways to reduce that inflammation.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I learned in my process of experimenting is that plantains are a superfood. I have ate plantains, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. I love plantains. They're my favorite food. But I did not know that they were a superfood. And once I realized that it's not our cultural food that's unhealthy. It's just how we eat them that makes it unhealthy.
Yeah, yeah. I love them too. Sometimes I can travel. I'll have a bag of plantains right then. You can't stop. You go through the whole bag.
Yeah, exactly. They tend to be addictive, but a lot of the plantain products that are on the market now, they're all fried. And
Yeah.
one thing I definitely noticed is that a lot of times they're not the best oils. So I wanted to create an oil-free version.
Uh-huh. And you're right. It has the oils, it has the salt, and if you mix a number of different oils, that causes inflammation too. You know,
Hmm.
and if you go to like one of the fast food restaurants, I'm not going to name any, but they're frying French fries. Sometimes that oil is cooking all day, just about.
Hmm.
And so you cook it past a certain temperature, use it for so long, the chemical compound in the oil changes and now becomes carcinogenic.
Yes,
So you probably,
correct.
in your research, you probably found out about a lot of that and how to take care of some of
Yeah.
that was bothering you.
Once once you go down that dark internet black hole, you're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like you have been putting all this stuff in my body all these years,
Yeah.
not knowing, just because we just didn't know any better.
So how did you come up with the idea? I mean, of course, you said you had a degenerative disease and you said, you know what, I need to do something else. And I go to the doctors, but they're going to give me something that's like a band-aid topical, but they're not going to get to the root of the problem. So you found out how to get to the root of your problem and you're helping others do the same.
Yeah, well, essentially, I started to notice that a lot of people had a lot of ailments. Like when they would find out that I was in a wheelchair and now, I was running a food truck or I have a food business now, which is not very easy to maintain. They always ask, like, how are you doing it? How are you, and I'm just like, I have to keep my inflammation down. So then they start asking questions, and I realized that this is a real issue within my community. And essentially, I made it my mission to help people that look like me not end up like me. So I just want them to eat better while it's a choice and not an obligation, how it was for me, where it was like I had to do it because I had to save my life. If you can just start making small steps now, you don't have to necessarily end up, how I did.
Yeah, yeah. And what advice would you give to people who want to try a vegan lifestyle?
I would say give yourself grace. Because in the beginning, I mean, I was like plant-based and then not plant-based every other week because every time a family function came around, I was like, forget it, I give up. Suffer the next day.
Yeah.
It just give yourself grace. If you're
Uh-huh.
suffering from inflammation, remove things that are causing or ailments, remove the things that cause the most inflammation, which is usually sugar, dairy, and beef. And unfortunately, in this country, it's usually gluten. So those are usually the most inflammatory foods in this country. But start off small. Try replacing, fried foods with non-fried foods. Try replacing your milk with your coffee with oat milk in your coffee. Like those are just small steps that you can take, and you'll genuinely start to see that you'll feel better, and it just will motivate you to keep going.
And that bread is so good. The texture, you squeeze it and it bounces back. It has gluten in it. That's why it makes the texture good to your taste. But is it good for your intestines?
So let me tell you, when Oprah was like, "I love bread," that was me. I identified with that. I
Yeah.
understood it. I love bread, like bread with my coffee, like a buttered toast. Like that's such a Miami thing, and to let that go was so hard for me, especially like
Yes.
growing up in New York. You have to have your bacon, egg, and cheese. Like like what do you mean I can't have these things? So it was really difficult. But if you think about how gluten is processed in this country,
Uh,
it's processed really quickly and it's over processed. Like in countries like Italy, where they eat pasta every day, they process their gluten so much slower. So it
yeah.
allows it, by the time it gets to your plate, you can digest it so much faster. Unfortunately, in this country, because I don't have like the allergy to gluten or anything like that. Like if I
Yeah.
eat it, I won't die. But if I do have it, I will get inflamed. I'll be in pain. I'll be achy. And if I go outside the country, it's a different story. I don't experience those symptoms. So sometimes you just have to
Wow.
adjust to your surroundings.
Yeah. What do you have there? Can you see this picture right here?
Yeah, so that was one of the things I served on my food truck. It was just like a Dominican charcuterie board. So we would like air fry the plantains sometimes.
Uh-huh.
We would have empanadas. We would have, just different things that people were used to having on a regular basis on a like Latin based diet. But
Yeah,
we
they look
just
like
try to find
tostones.
ways to make it a little bit healthier.
Yeah. Was that tostones with the avocado?
Yeah,
Okay.
tostones, avocado, pickled onion, things like that. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. And they're good when they're fresh like that. Oh man. But you can tell when somebody brings them out and they've been sitting there for a while, or they try to redo them. They try to recook.
Yeah, where we try
Like,
to fry
no,
them
this
and
is,
stuff like that.
come
Yeah.
on, I know. Bring that back. Give me the other one. So, what are some of the things that you're cooking, and how are you going to expand your business?
So before I wanted to start my products with like vegan seafood, I really wanted to go into that route. So was making like sauces, marinades, and like these vegan fish nuggets. That's when I first started. However, it's really expensive to try to
Yeah,
get into retail that way. So then one day I was actually really sad because I realized how expensive it is to get into grocery stores, and plantains are usually my comfort food. And I
yeah.
have like a air fryer that has like every button known to man. And instead of putting it on air fry, I put it on dehydrate. And I realized like, oh wait, there's just like a chewy texture to it, which is
Yeah.
nice. And then I ate them and I didn't spasm, because usually when I eat fried plantains, they make me spasm. So then I was like, oh, if I put some different kind of like, some of the chef profiles that I've used on some of the other foods that I've had, like I used to make spicy pineapple crab cakes.
Uh,
And so I took kind of like that flavor profile and put it onto my plantains, and now I have a tropical punch flavor. I used
uh,
to have a plantain sundae where I took plantain, put ice cream, strawberries, chocolate syrup, and stuff like that on it, and now I have a true chocolate flavor of the plantain jerky, and then I
yeah.
have the classic garlic. So it's really what I'm focusing right now. It's just on the plantain jerky, trying to get it to a home near
Yeah.
you, because it is a superfood snack that's super easy on the go and it's amazing to travel with.
Yeah.
Especially with the prices in the airports now. It's like just take a bag of plantain jerky and it'll keep you full, because
Yeah.
it has fiber in there, and that way you don't have to spend $20 on an airport meal.
Yeah. And who wants peanuts
Yeah.
on the plane when you can have that?
Yeah, you
No,
can take
this,
dehydrated fruit on the plane.
exactly. So, what's the connection? between tryptophan and plantains that make people happy. I know tryptophan during Thanksgiving, people talk about it from time to time because inside the turkey has tryptophan in it. It makes people relax and go to sleep a little bit. That's the same
So
thing.
plantains, they naturally produce serotonin.
Uh-huh.
So the serotonin is usually what's like gives you like a boost of happiness to it.
Mhm.
And then people are just genuinely happy when they're eating plantains because at the end of the day, you can eat plantains by themselves and they're absolutely delicious. So but yeah, they do have a boost of serotonin and they have so many good for you nutrients in them. So they have folate, they have magnesium, fiber, potassium,
Yes.
so many just vitamin A, K,
Mhm.
so many wonderful benefits to them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, be honest. How many times do you slip and say, "All right, I'm going to suffer, but I need to reward myself. I got to get some old-fashioned Dominican food."
It is not worth it to me, and it's just not. It's because
I
I
know.
suffer so much the next day, or just even
Yeah,
the afternoon. By just a couple hours. Like I look like I'm 8 months pregnant, and it's like people are like, "Oh my god, you're in, congratulations!" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just
whoa, no.
not." So it's like no, I don't want to experience that. And as you get
Yeah,
older, it's like your body really starts to yell at you. So I
yeah.
just learned how to
It'll
like
let you
make
know.
yeah, it'll let you know. So I've learned how to like make replacements. Instead of
Uh,
using regular white rice, I use quinoa, but I season it like Spanish rice.
yeah.
Instead of using the harmful chemicals of from some of the seasonings that are on the market today, I try to make my own, or I go with more healthier alternatives for
Uh-huh.
seasoning. So it's like I just try to control more what's on my plate.
So where can we? You don't have the food truck anymore. Where can we experience these foods?
So
Uh,
right now I have the plantain jerky available on my website, thecaribevegan.com. I will
yeah.
expand my product base once the plantain jerky is a little bit more stable. It's just right now I just wanted to focus on one thing and then I'll expand because I do have like a lot of sauces and other products that will be available.
Mm. Plantain jerky. Gotta check it out. We're gonna find you. So just go to the website and we'll find out how to order it too, right?
Yes, correct.
You can order from the website. All right. Melissa,
Hmm.
thank you
Yes,
so
you can.
much. Any shout outs, quick shout outs? You got 30 seconds. Want to say hello to anybody that's watching you?
No, I'm just super happy to be here. Very grateful. If you have any questions or someone that's suffering with an autoimmune illness, please call me. I'm more than happy to speak to them just because it can feel very lonely.
Mhm.
So if you're out there and you're suffering and just need someone to talk to or some advice to give you in the right direction, I'm more than happy to help because I'm here to help my community.
I appreciate you. We love you. You know that, right? Thank you. You can
Thank
soothe the
you.
stomach. You can soothe the bloating stomach and so much more. Melissa Guzman, the founder, the Caribe Vegan. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right. We'll take a break. I've got more tasty things to check out coming up next on Open.